Hey friend, Tyler Jeffcoat with Seller Accountant. Happy New Year. I really hope that 2021 was the best year ever for your Amazon business, even if the supply chains may have made things a little bit crazy for a few months. Hey, this is the time of year to make sure that your financial picture is in order so that you can file taxes. Seller Accountant does not file taxes, but every CPA or tax filer in the country A, hates e-commerce, and B, really needs you to have your records in order so that when you file your taxes, things are correct. Let me walk you through a few things in this video. One, why this is the moment you should care. I'll make that quick. Two, what are the documents that your accountant is going to need or your CPA is going to need to be able to file those taxes? Where do you find that information in Seller Central? And then I'm going to give you two practical next steps that you could take. All right, so let's dive in. So two reasons I'm going to give you really quickly. You probably already know this. Other than the fact that it's just January, why should I care about getting my books in order for my taxes? And it's really simple. I'm stamping a picture for the year 2021 that the IRS, the federal government, may hold me accountable to defending in the future. I may be in a position, it's unlikely as small businesses that we're going to be audited, but let's say we explode. We have a 5X year. We do much more revenue in 2022 than we did in 2021. Our profit goes way up, and all of a sudden we get flagged and we're on the radar of the IRS. Our job is to make sure that our records are in order so that if we were in a position of having to defend ourselves, we could without any problems. And so that's the IRS. The second audience is, what if you have a great year and you decide to sell your business? Again, you're going to have to defend this stamped moment in time for 2021. And so now's the moment before you file those legal documents to the IRS to take a minute, get things right so that your tax guy is doing things with the right data. So what does he want? Like when your tax preparer looks at your stuff, let me remove myself here. There are two financial statements that your tax guy wants. The first one that you obviously is pretty obvious here is the profit and loss statement. And, as a CFO, it's a big part of what I do here at Seller Accountant is provide CFO services. I really care about that month over month over month P&L because I want to be able to detect small changes in margins so that we can help drive the business in the right direction. But when it's time to file taxes, the IRS just wants the annual picture. What does January through December in total look like? But at the end of the day, you're going to have to report a profit number at the bottom here, right? And you're telling the IRS, this is how much money I made in the year, whether it's, obviously this is a huge company or whether it's a much smaller seller like a lot of our clients here at Seller Accountant. The number you put matters because you're telling the IRS, this is exactly the number I should be paying taxes on. That number needs to be accurate. Now, the financial statement that you probably spend less time thinking about is the balance sheet, and it's actually just as important. The rule of thumb is the balance sheet has to balance. In other words, if at the end of the year, and this is the end of November because my team hasn't finished the accounting yet for this particular seller, but let's just pretend this is December 31st. If I look at this balance for the bank account, it ought to match what was actually on the bank statement for the end of the year. The same for PayPal, the same for the receivables that I had from Amazon because I sold stuff on the week of Christmas, but they haven't actually paid me yet until this first week of January. I need to have a pretty strong estimate of what my ending inventory was, any other receivables. I need to be able to go down to my credit cards, need to, match what the statements say, my sales tax liability, and then any equity draws or any other loans I have. This is just the time of the year to make sure that my balance sheet is solid, that things can be independently verified. Again, because I may have to defend this balance sheet either to the IRS or to a future investor that's going through due diligence to buy my company. So I never believe that a P&L, profit and loss statement, is accurate until I can connect it to a good solid balance sheet. So that's what your tax guy needs. Is those two statements, needs them in an annual basis, January 1st through December 31st. And so here's the other question we get a lot is, where do I find this data, right? If I'm sitting in Seller Central, how should I go about getting this Amazon data? In two important areas. One is kind of the sales fees, kind of financial data. And then the second area is in the inventory counts. And so let's start with the financial data. Where you don't want to go is where I am on my screen right now. You do not want to hover over reports and go to business reports and just pull the annual picture and use this number for your sales number because it's not an accurate number. Amazon has two different APIs that are at work. The orders API, which is what you and I are looking at the fruit of right now, is a bad place to get sales information because it commingles sales tax. It doesn't account for refunds always properly. The timing is off. It's probably directionally true. It's within 5 or 10% of the real number. But this number here will never, ever, ever line up with your true sales number for the year. Please don't use it. Instead, go over reports and go to the payments area where you would look at your settlements and actually go to a date range report and pull a statement for the year or pull it month by month and do your accounting that way, because this information sitting here within the payments dashboard is gospel. This is what ties into the actual cash payments that Amazon has sent you so that your profit and loss statement has a prayer of matching your balance sheet. Okay. The second thing that you need to try to get out of Amazon, you got to get this information from your other sales channels also, but since we're thinking about Amazon in this video, is I want you to hover over reports, go to fulfillment reports, and within fulfillment reports under the inventory, you can kind of lengthen that list of inventory. There's one called the inventory reconciliation report here. There's a lot of reports that help you get FBA data for where your units are. This is a kind of a nice summary report where I could click on the download tab here and select a, January 1st to 12/31 or December 31st, 2021. It's going to take a while to request it. Request it as a CSV, download that baby, and that's going to give you a picture of what your beginning inventory balance was within FBA, how many units were received, how many units were sold, what your ending inventory is, any that they were lost, and that kind of thing. And so what you'll do is take that data. Let's say that I have 100 of one of my products. I'm going to then multiply that 100 times whatever my value per unit is. What did I pay for it? And it's going to give me the picture of ending inventory. I have lots of other videos on how to calculate COGS and inventory correctly. Feel free to look at those. But this is where you got to get that data. This is the data that ultimately, and I'll be honest with you, I like the data that I've just showed you a lot better than trying to connect Amazon's payments to their 1099K. I've been doing this for a long time now. I've never once seen a seller get audited and see the 1099K not match their books and have a problem. That's not a thing. You don't need to worry about that. What you need to worry about is getting the accounting correct. And Amazon's 1099K tends to have a lot of noise in it. Again, there's some sales tax. There's some omission of some of the Amazon fees, some inclusion of some other ones. What I recommend is just building a good bookkeeping system where you have a valid P&L and a valid balance sheet, and then let the chips fall. You're going to be in great shape. So now let me give you two practical things that you could consider doing to get this information for your tax guy, get your books in order. One is, okay, I'm the person who doesn't have a huge budget right now, but I've got a lot of time here in January or February before the tax deadline. If that's you, then I would consider buying a do-it-yourself course. I'm not really good at my bookkeeping. I haven't been doing it, but I need to catch up for last year. I'll make sure that my team adds a coupon to our course. You could probably find another one, but feel free to buy ours at a discount. That'll walk you through how to set up QuickBooks Online, how to just do this accounting correctly for yourself so that it's done. You can feel confident. You can file those taxes and know that the numbers that are stamped permanently on your tax records are good. Let's say you're the other guy. Okay, I actually have a little bit of budget, but I just hate accounting. I don't have a lot of time here. Then I would consider, honestly, hiring a team that does this professionally. And again, there are other teams. We're not the only team out there. But Seller Accountant would absolutely love to meet with you here in the month of January, help you get organized, and give you the power of having the books going to your tax guy that are perfect, that are ready to get through due diligence, that could get through an audit in the fortunate instance that you end up in an audit. We would love to help you. So again, whether you're going to do it yourself or whether you're going to pay and outsource someone to do it for you, now's the moment to decide, okay, I'm going to get 2021 correct so that I don't have to worry about it. I've got good numbers to go to my tax guy, my CPA, whoever it is that's doing my taxes for me. Make it idiot-proof. Here you go, buddy. Here's that finalized balance sheet. Here's that finalized profit and loss statement. Stamp it. I can put those on my taxes and feel confident that I'm compliant, but I'm also ready for an exit if I were to have an offer on the business. So again, Happy New Year, guys. Thank you for taking a minute to watch this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if there's anything we can do to serve you as we jump into 2022. Appreciate your time. Take care.